XRP just hit its highest level in FUD in the last few weeks, and that level has historically acted as a contrarian buy signal. What does this mean for XRP going forward? One analyst says that XRP's base case is 5. What is their top end price for XRP? Plus, the US-Iran deal, is it falling apart? What's going on there? We'll cover all this. All I ask from you is that you give me a beautiful smile, send out those good vibes, smishity smash that like button, and let's get into it. Please read the disclaimer. So hopefully you had a nice long weekend and you are ready to get back on the horse. Right now, XRP is at $1.34. XRP and the rest of the crypto market actually had a little bit of a pullback here, as there was news that US forces carried out self-defense strikes in southern Iran, targeting missile launch sites and mine-laying vessels. Meanwhile, top Iranian negotiators have arrived in Qatar for talks on potential deal to end the war. What kind of peace negotiations are these? This is usually how it goes, right? There's peace negotiations while things are still kicking off. And President Trump did put out a letter or a statement here saying that Iran's enriched uranium will either be turned over or the US will destroy it. President Trump says that the enriched uranium is a deal breaker in his point of view. He also wants a slew of countries to join the Abraham Accords. Now, I mentioned this a few days ago, and I forgot which countries actually joined previously. So previously, it was the UAE, Bahrain, and Morocco. Now he wants Saudi Arabia and Turkey and Turkey and a slew of other countries, Pakistan and Iran, to join the Abraham Accords in order for this peace deal to get signed. I don't know if he's shooting for the stars, but I don't think there's a high probability that those countries join the Abraham Accords. It's basically a peace agreement, an economical agreement for partnership with Israel. I don't see that happening, right? Just the way that they act and the way that they are so anti-Israel. Maybe. So if I'm looking at that and I'm looking at the probabilities, if that is a deal breaker for President Trump and the uranium is a deal breaker for President Trump, the probabilities of a deal are going to go down significantly. And with that happening, we are also seeing oil prices come up this morning. Not a huge amount. You'd think that they would be up a little bit more, but they did pop off the low that we saw at 89. So right now at 91, Brent back to 95. Silver and gold also 76, gold 4,500. So they're not freaking out. They're not selling off. I think the market is, let's wait and see. Let's wait and see what Trump is going to do. Let's see how the negotiations go. And that's the current situation in the markets. We do have the stock market coming back today. Futures were up and now they're down a little bit. We'll see how that plays out. Some of the overnight trading, some stocks are up significantly. By the way, we do have the new stock channel if you're interested. Getting some really nice traction for a new channel. Only has a few videos on it. The first one was really good, 8,000 views. But since then, we've had like an average of 1,500, 2,000 views on the videos. So I don't know if you guys are watching or it's new subscribers, new people. So I appreciate you. And if you're interested in stock market and stock market information, I'll link to that in the description down below. And we also have our Telegram group that is open and free to everybody. It's also in the description. And if you want to join that, you can get some extra data, extra updates there as well. I'm going to try to jumpstart that a little bit. I've been lacking recently. We've been through war and stuff in the past few months. Yeah. So going back and looking at where we are right now in the market, it will be very interesting to see how everything plays up today. Now, one market that's doing really good is the Japanese market. Even with all the fear that we've talked about recently, it has been doing really good. Before we continue, I just want to remind you that this video is for educational purposes, for entertainment purposes only, not financial advice. Always do your own due diligence before you decide to invest. Also, remember that I will never contact you on social media asking to sign up to anything or to send me any money. Those are scammers, those are imposters. A lot of them have already changed their icons to look like my new profile pic. Some of them haven't. I'm gonna this weekend. I'm gonna go on a like a hunting mission and find them all and report them. But just be careful. I will never remember. I'll never contact you. Okay. So we've talked a lot about the Japanese markets and the potential of their bonds that are also going, up significantly, similar to the U.S. Bonds. And now we're seeing the Nike 225 cross 65,000 for the first time ever, touching 65,400. And this is very interesting, right? Because we saw that there was a lot of fear in Japan of what could potentially come, but it seems with their new prime minister and everything that they're trying to do, the markets themselves are rallying. And so, is this a precursor to what could potentially come here? Or maybe the money is flowing out of the US and coming back to the Japanese market just to keep it in yen and not in dollar. And that's a possibility as well. For example, here, the stock market has been doing amazing. And the Fed chairman here also announced yesterday that he was reducing interest rates by a quarter of a percent. People wanted more, because of everything that's going on. But the main reason was that there was pressure on him because of the exchange rate between the dollar and the shekel. And the shekel is becoming very strong. The dollar is becoming very weak, which is not good for me because I earn in dollars and live in shekels, right? And so the Fed did that. So it could be that money is coming back into the yen, trying to bring up the yen. And so that's a possibility as well. And stability is what is good for markets, right? So we'll see what's going to potentially happen worldwide and in the crypto market. And again, a lot of what's happening and a lot of what we're looking at is Clarity Act, right? Even though yesterday was a pretty good day, and I ended up not making a video last night, just taking like a night off. I knew that there was a holiday, so I knew there would be less interest. People, doing what they do on Memorial Day. Some, uh, thinking and reflecting and thinking about the fallen, and some doing other stuff, and it's okay. But I knew that people would be maybe with their family, so I just was with my family, and the market did pop. Like there was some poppers. Near Protocol was popping. There was a few others that were popping here, but for the most part, the crypto market is sitting and waiting and trying to get good news from the Iran deal and from the Clarity Act. So again, price action right now is in the toilet, but anything can change. We can see the market suddenly pop up. We can see the market suddenly pop down. That's what's so beautiful in the crypto market. Things can change very, very fast. We can have a lull, and then get very, very hot and heavy, right? So we know this can happen. We've seen this multiple times, right, where this happens. So I wouldn't be surprised if anything, right? Even here, like this time frame, right? I don't even remember when this was, right? Let's say this was from December to mid-January, right? And then suddenly XRP popped up here 30%. That was the beginning of January. So there are possibilities to see this kind of movement, even here, right? Suddenly 25%, even in this lull. So there's always the possibility of a 25% move. And again, if you're using leverage, if you're maximizing your potential profits, then you could see significant movements. If you are interested, our partner BTCC will still give you the opportunity to join that competition that we have there, that promotion. If you're interested, link is in the description down below. You can get the VIP status for 1 month. And also, the more you trade, the more bonuses you can get. It's ending here at the end of the month, so we only have a few more days left. Link is in the description down below. If you're interested, get it now. Again, it helps out the channel. It keeps the lights on, so thank you for that. Again, it is an affiliate link. And please, please, please trade responsibly. So XRP analyst sees $5 base target and a $20 bull case. Korean analysts, and we know the Koreans love XRP, Korean analyst 9edex says XRP's primary target is $5 if price climbs toward the upper boundary of the middle channel. A more aggressive $20 scenario could emerge if XRP breaks above the upper edge of a decade-long channel, similar to its 2018 breakup setup. Not the base case, but definitely one bulls are watching, right? And listen, is a possibility that this happens. Okay. We don't know what is going to happen with the price action of XRP in the short term because a lot of it is riding on what happens with the Clarity Act, right? If the Clarity Act doesn't pass, then we have to look at XRP's price action for the next year or so, or maybe even 2 years in a totally different light. But if Clarity Act passes, then I would be more comfortable like looking at XRP getting towards that $5 base case that he's talking about. Now, again, if you've watched the channel before, you know that I will say shwaya shwaya, small, slowly. Let's get past all-time highs for XRP before you start talking about $5, $10. And maybe we get there, maybe $20. But, you know, throwing out numbers sometimes works. People threw out $100,000 for Bitcoin, and it eventually got there. People thought they were, bananas when they were saying this 5, 6, 10 years ago, but it got there. And some people might be looking at XRP $10 and saying, "Oh, they're crazy," but it could happen if everything falls in line, if all the good things happen. Right now, like I've told you in the past few weeks, the crypto market is not where investors are going right now because the stock market is doing so well that the big investors are saying to themselves, I am not going to get into XRP or into the crypto market before I know what's going on with the Clarity Act. And it's funny because the Clarity Act could actually not be that bad if it fails. I just think that it's the point where people are like, okay, I don't know if this is going to be good or bad, and I'm waiting to see what happens. Even if it doesn't pass, it might not be the end of the world. It just might be a lot harder for crypto to develop in the US in the next few years. But it's not the end of the world because remember, 2 years ago, we didn't have Clarity Act, right? And yet the crypto markets were going up. So the thesis there was the same. It should be the same thesis now. It's just that there's something now that is preventing big institutions from coming in, and a lot of the money is going to the stock market because those areas are a lot sexier now. The profits are shown on the screen, whereas if you zoom out, it looks good. But if you're now looking at the last year or so, it doesn't look great for the crypto market. And I think that could be the turning point where people are like, okay, now we have clarity. Yes, clarity or no clarity, but clarity on what the situation is, and then they won't be afraid, right? And when we're now investing in the crypto market in XRP, and it could be short term, it could be long term, we're taking the risk that the market might not like one of the scenarios that happens. But in general, anytime we invest in a specific asset, we are speculating, right? We didn't know how the market would react when President Trump won the election. Crypto did amazing, stocks not so much. Now stocks are doing amazing, crypto not so much. There's always a cycle, there's always this kind of water that goes up and down. I actually had a very interesting conversation with my dad about this yesterday, and he is contemplating about investing in a few different things. And we were talking about the pros and the cons and what this could potentially mean and that could potentially mean. And we were talking about diversification. How much diversification is it? Is it too much diversification? Should he focus on things that he's good at? Should he focus on short term? Should he focus on long term? And this is someone that's 70 plus years old, and he is a master investor, right? Because he's investing for so long, very successfully, and he's done good in all aspects of investing. And yet he still has these thoughts and he still doesn't know what to do. What does that tell you? That even them, right, those people and those investors that quote unquote have been, experts and have been in the market very long and a long period of time, they have these same thoughts that you have, and they don't know what to do many times. So I wanted to share that with you to tell you, hey, listen, you're not alone. Even the experts, right, have the same thoughts and have the same struggles that you have. Okay, so that's very, very important to remember. And some people like thinking about quitting maybe, and and leaving the market. And so just to tell you that things can shift and things can change very, very fast, and know that everybody has similar thoughts in you. And what is this also teaching us? That if you're not diversified enough, that might be the answer to your question, that's where your problem is, that you're not diversified enough, and that you maybe were too heavy in crypto and now the crypto is not doing great. Your whole portfolio, your whole net worth is down significantly because you didn't have that balance. Okay. And we talk a lot about the balance on the channel. Don't forget to smash the like button. Check out the links in the description down below for diversification. Check out the new stock channel, check out BTCC, and see what you can do. Okay. Thank you for watching. I hope to see you next time. And like I always say, let's make a lot of money.